Hello and welcome to the This Calls for Confetti YouTube channel. I am Karen and today I am going to bring you a very fun project. If you want to craft along with me, you're going to need 3 card bases, some cardstock to layer with, 3 different pattern papers, and the Witching You stamp set. I am using the 6x6 Boo paper. I have chosen 3 different patterns and I'm going to cut them down to 4 by 5 1/4. This is really important with our technique that we're using today that I call stack, cut, and swap. So the marks that you're making or the cuts that you're making are random. So depending on how many cuts you make, you will need that many pieces of pattern paper. So for this card, I made 3 cuts. So we have 3 different pattern papers. Then I am going to create some mats so that I've got a little white border from my card base, a little colored or black border, and then the pattern paper on top. I did stamp out the witch that's sitting on the pumpkins and had those die cut with the dies. Here is the fun part. So we have cut, we made our stack, we cut, and now we're switching out these pattern papers to give us a color blocked idea. This one's really fun because I made 3 cuts in my paper and then I have the 3 different patterns to switch around. I am using my paper distresser to distress all of the edges on all of the different pieces of pattern paper. This really helps as I begin to put the pattern papers onto the cardstock base to really help give dimension. It also helps if they don't line up perfectly. That distressed edge kind of hides that from the naked eye. So here's what I've done. I've taken those 3. We're going to put adhesive on the back and then we're layering them together. Then we're going to go ahead and add this to our card base. I am using a top fold A2 card, but again, you could use any card size. The measurements I gave at the beginning really do fit for an A2. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to use my watercolor pencils to color the pumpkins from this stamp. I love the Witching You stamp set. I think it is fantastic. And the witches in this image, the witch image in these really give you that vintage Hollywood feel. And so they're very fun in my opinion. I love the faces on these pumpkins. I think they are absolutely adorable. So once I have put down the color pencil, I just grabbed an aqua painter brush and we're just going to blend that out. Super easy way to color and have fun images to use. So off camera, I am going to go ahead and watercolor the other 2 images, but I won't be showing that here. I am using Tattered Rose to do my witch's face. I did find that it was easier with this light color to use the water painter to pick up the color from the crayon rather than putting the crayon down. Gonna add some 3D dots that will allow this to be popped up onto my card front. We're gonna add her in down there in the lower left hand corner. Super cute layout. Now we're going to put together the other 2 cards. Again, I've grabbed my adhesive and we're just going to fit these together. I did choose this pink background because of the pink pumpkins. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure that it's my favorite. Now that these are finished, I kind of wish that I had stuck with black, but it never hurts to try a fun color when it's in your pattern paper. So once we get all 3 of these cards fit together, we're going to go ahead and mount our witches into the lower left-hand corner of each of our cards. So this one was really fun. I liked that orange being in the bottom. It's funny how when you cut these papers apart, sometimes you end up with a favorite image, a favorite layout that you like. And for me, this one was that orange Boo with the ghost and the bats in the lower right-hand corner. We're going to add both of these to a card front. We're going to go through and take our watercolored witches and add those. And now we're going to add a sentiment. I'm going to use the Happy Halloween out of Kooky and Spooky. Line it up there on the lines on my block. Using Memento ink, I'm just going to stamp this down on some punched circles. You could use any of your circle dies for this. I just happened to grab some punches. Then I'm going to use my black pen and put a simple line around it. I felt like that this added kind of that look of stitching without being stitching, and it just kind of finishes out the image. I'm going to layer those up onto the black circle that I punched. This one has a little bit of a design on the edge that really kind of gave these pieces a little bit of interest. Once we get these all glued down, we are going to add them into our finished piece. And so I'm going to actually put them in right above this witch's knee, kind of behind it, where it covers up where the 3 pieces of paper went together. Last step is always to add the bling, and I am using one of our confetti mixes. This one is fantastic. It has orange stars and purple stars and bats and glittery gemstones in it. Love this one. The links will be down below to where each of these products are on the This Calls for Confetti website so that you can get them. I want to thank you for joining me today while we made these 3 cards. I think that this is a fantastic technique that you could use for just about any season, and the best part is you end up with 3 cards that are ready to go to send to anyone. Here at the end of the video, I have some still shots showing these cards being photographed. At the very, very end are some additional videos that you may want to check out using different techniques and This Calls for Confetti products. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.